Hey yogis, thank you so much for continuing this journey. Today's practice is going to be all about restoring. So mixture of yin postures and restorative yoga postures, all done from the floor with a bolster underneath you, blocks handy just in case you need them. So the idea is to slow down, to get yourself grounded into the earth, to spend some time in the postures, feeling a deeper sense of release in the fibers of the muscles, feeling a deeper connection to your breath, and allowing yourself to be there in the stillness and just experience the space. Before we do get started in our yoga postures today, we are going to find some Nadi shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing, to center the balance of energy between left and right side of the body. So wherever you happen to be right now, just make sure you're in a comfortable seated position. If you've got your bolster handy, pop it underneath your bottom so that your hips are slightly elevated. You can feel your spine lengthen. And just for a moment, allow yourself to find some natural breaths. Just an even inhale and exhale through the nose. For a moment, I invite you, just take your right hand for a moment and rest your right index finger just on your right cheek. If you can, just start to pull that right cheek gently towards the right hand side so you feel the right nostril open a little bit wider, and take a breath in. Let it out. And we'll do the same with the left index finger on the left cheek, gently drawing the left nostril open wider. Breathe in. Let it out. We just want to notice if there is a bias, if one nostril feels a little more clear than the other. Just know that it's always going to be different. This flow of energy follows the circadian rhythms in the body. So you might start with left nostril clear and right a little more blocked. It might end a little different. We just notice how that sensation is feeling for you now. If you're newer to the practice of Nadi shodhana, I'll demonstrate first. So your right middle and index finger will rest between the brows, ajna or third eye center. Then your thumb will work to block your right nostril as we breathe in and out through the left, and your pinky finger and ring finger will work to block the left nostril as we inhale and exhale through the right. And the way the flow of breath will work, we start the practice by blocking the right nostril with the right thumb, inhaling through the left nostril. When we get to the top, we pause for a moment and then we swap. We block the left nostril, we exhale through the right. And then we reverse the process. Inhaling through the right, pausing at the top, blocking the right, exhaling through the left. And that's one round. So the beginning of your inhale of left nostril and the end of your exhale through the left nostril. That's the start and the end of one round of Nadi shodhana. We're going to take a few rounds guided together, and then we'll allow more of a personal practice and move towards 8 rounds by yourself. I'll demonstrate first. You can do it with me during the demonstration if you like. Middle finger and index finger of the right hand rest between ajna center. Thumb of the right hand blocks the right nostril as we inhale through left nostril. Gentle pause at the top. Then we block left, exhale through right. Then reversing process. Inhale through right nostril. Pause at the top. Switch. Exhale through left. Little pause at the bottom. That signifies the end of one round. We'll take the next together. Inhale through left. Pausing, then block left, exhale right. Inhale through right side. Switch, exhale through left. That's the end of 2 rounds. If you're ready, you make your way through 8 more. Starting with the inhale through left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale, right side. Switch, exhale, left. End of third round, beginning of fourth. Inhale, left. Switch, exhale, right. Inhale, right. Switch, exhale, left. This fifth round will be the last one. I'll cue you through. Inhale through left. And the latter rounds, you'll cue yourself. Exhale, right. Inhale, right side. Switch, exhale, left. You continue with 5 more full rounds. If along the way it feels as though you are struggling to breathe, either through left or through right, then the physical blocking of the nostrils can become more energetic. And then you could just imagine that you were inhaling and exhaling through left and through right during their respective times. For if the blocking of the nostrils physically restricts the breath and causes frustration, that's the last thing we're trying to achieve here. You take one more full round. Return to your natural rhythm of breath. Set your palms to touch. And we take a breath together. Inhale. Audible exhale. If you'd like to, you can share with me the sound of Om to open our practice. Take an in-breath. Can gently blink your eyes open. From this space, you uncross your legs if they're crossed. Send your sit bones to the ground with your bolster. Take it out in front of you. I'm going to rest it underneath the calf muscles. So moving towards a butterfly pose setup. Just allow back of the calves underneath towards the ankles. Rest onto the blocks. Keep a bend in the knees. Let the toes fall out to either side. You reach the arms out in front. Really feel the rounding through the spine, the drawing apart of the shoulder blades. You move through the neck from side to side. When you feel comfortable, the idea is just to let everything hang heavy, to fold in towards yourself, and to allow yourself to be still. Noticing where in the body is carrying tension, and asking, how can I release that tension? Is it by allowing the feet and the toes to hang a little heavier? By letting the elbows bend more? Or allowing the chin to fall to the chest a little heavier? Take 3 more breaths here in the shape. Slowly start to allow the spine to rise. Just set the hands outside the hips for a moment. Pull the shoulder blades back. Feel the chest start to broaden. And point the toes forward, spread them wide. Feel the muscles of the thighs flex for a moment, and just roll out through your ankles. And from here we'll work towards a deer pose, having the right shin parallel with the top edge of the mat, the left shin running parallel with the left edge. And you could allow your body to fold forwards, resting forehead and resting arms there onto your bolster. If you do have a little more space and you wanted to feel this more, you could allow your right shin to rest onto the bolster. This will just deepen the angle of the leg so that when you fold forwards, you're feeling a little deeper of a sensation through the outside of the right hip. And use your props where they feel necessary so you can feel nice and even. For example, in this position, I feel a block underneath my right elbow. Might allow me to sit a little flatter and stop the body from falling off to the right-hand side of the room. Listen to the sound of your breath. And ask the question, does it feel calm? Does it feel balanced? And if not, how could it? Two more breaths here. Taking your time, and lift up through a seat. From here, allowing your left leg to swing out in front of you, resting over the block. I'm going to come down on to the back. Just squeeze the right knee in towards the chest when you come on down. If you feel as though that bolster could slide out a little further in front, maybe use your left foot just to give it a little wiggle down. Think about that bolster being a little more under the ankle this time. A couple of options here. You could either stay where you are, catching hold of the knee. With the head still on the ground, you could see if you could catch the outside of the right foot, move towards a half happy baby shape. Or if you have more space, you could lift your head up off the mat. You could see if the inner eye of your left elbow could wrap around your right foot. And maybe do the same with the right elbow around the right knee. In a perfect world, in this position, the head would be on the mat. Of course, that is quite a strong place to be. So if you would prefer to rest your head down, again, you can just tone back the stretch. My favorite option here is to take the left hand, catch hold of the top of the right foot, and imagine the left heel was almost clicking in like a seat belt on the outside of the left hip. And then you could allow the right knee to point towards the top of the mat. You think about the legs almost looking like a very extreme and pointy number 4. The head can rest down on the mat. You can really feel an opening through the right hip and a length through the front of the left hip as well. Two more breaths. Very mindfully, I'm going to start to cross the right thigh all the way over the left thigh. Shuffling hips a little more towards the right edge of your mat, and then allowing both knees to fall off to the left. Take your time to find your way into that twist, spreading the arms out wide. Letting each exhale soften the knees a little more. Soften the belly a little more. Two more breaths here. As we come back through center, we unravel the legs first. And you use whatever support you need to slowly bring yourself up towards the seat. So you could wrap your hands around your knees, lift your head off the mat, and just slowly bring yourself up towards the seat. Nice one. Going to extend the left leg out long in front of us. Again, ankle or shin hanging over the bolster. Catch hold of the right foot. See if you can set the top of the right foot down a little wider than your right hip. And you use your hands for support here. In a moment, what we're going to do is start to lean back. And we don't necessarily want to go too far because it's the flexion of the right knee that we're really trying to feel here. If you rest a block underneath your left hip, that might stop you from falling off onto the left-hand side of the body. The intention is just to use the hands for support, to lean back, pull the shoulder blades back towards each other. Feel the tailbone tuck under slightly. That's a stretch through the right quadriceps muscles, and also a strong flexion through the right knee. Again, the intention is not to completely lay flat, but if there's space and lowering onto the forearms is available, you can let that happen. We're down on forearms, still working to roll shoulder blades back to lift the chest. Not here for as long in this position. Just taking 3 more breaths. Last inhale. Let it go. And slowly, using hands for support, we lift the torso back up. If block underneath left hip, remove it first. Then allow right leg to extend out to meet the left. Give the legs an opportunity just to shake out. Again, a little caterpillar between sides, just to balance out the spine. Feel some space. The legs, the feet, you can roll out through the ankles. Take a breath. And as we rise back up, and prepare for the deer pose here on the left hand side. So remembering your options, you could have your left shin in front of the bolster, right shin parallel with the right edge of the mat. If you have more space in the hips, you want to feel more, you just set your left shin onto the bolster. And as you work to fold forwards over the left thigh, again, if you feel a little imbalance, you could rest a block underneath the left elbow. The longer we're here, the heavier we want to feel our torso against the left leg. And asking, where can you release tension? Where can you soften? Two more breaths. And as you slowly begin to rise, use your hand for support. And once you lift, swing your right leg out long in front of you. We're going to come down onto the back, bringing the left knee with us in towards the chest. Again, this could be where you stay. With the head still on the ground, you could reach up with the left hand, see if you could catch the outside of the left foot, trying to draw left knee towards the floor wider than the left shoulder for half happy baby. You could lift the head off the mat, search for eyes of elbows around the foot and the knee. And if that means the head is quite lifted off the mat, it might not be too comfortable in the long run. Again, my personal favorite, right hand catches the top of the left foot. You imagine you are clicking your left heel into the right hip like a seatbelt, and then allowing the left knee, excuse me while I move that microphone out of the way, allowing the left knee to fall towards the front of the room. last breath here. Gently release the leg in whatever capacity you may have been holding on to it, crossing left thigh all the way over the right, allowing knees to fall off to the right hand side of the room. Adjusting the shoulder blades so you feel as much of the upper back rest against the mat as you can. Last breath. Gently unraveling the legs as you come back through center, again using whatever support you need to gently bring yourself back up towards a seat, taking your time as we work to prepare here. This time it will be right leg that extends out in front of you. We'll work to set the top of the left foot down wider than the left hip. And again, if this results in you completely falling off onto the right side, then you just place your block, pop it underneath your right sit bone, and you might feel a little more evenly grounded there. Send the hands back behind you, pull the shoulder blades back, feel the tailbone tuck under slightly, maybe even flex the glutes a little to feel a deeper release through the front of the left hip. Again, if there's space, working not to force it, but just feeling your way in. If the forearms could ground down, fantastic. Still drawing shoulder blades back, lifting chest wherever you are. Just giving yourself 3 full breaths. Taking as much time as you need to lift your torso back up. If there's a block under a right hip, using left hand to remove it. Swinging left leg out to meet the right. Adjusting sit bones, giving legs a chance to shake out, take them a little bit wider here. As you fold over your center, let your arms reach out the center of the legs. Promoting more rounding through the spine. Lift and lower the head a few times. Roll that through the ankles one last time. Flex and spread the toes wide. Do the same with the fingers. I'm going to keep the ankles where they are, resting over the bolster. You're going to start to lower yourself down gently onto your back. As we prepare to come down towards Savasana, think about shoulder blades drawing towards each other, lifting the hips and lowering them to allow more length of the spine, particularly the low back, to ground into the earth. And as you settle into stillness, I want you to think back to the Nadi shodhana, the alternate nostril breathing at the start of practice. And while you're here in stillness, for a moment just imagine your right index finger and middle finger were resting between Ajna center. Imagine your right thumb was gently blocking your right nostril. And imagine you are inhaling through your left. Pausing at the top, then blocking left, exhaling through right. Inhaling through right. And blocking right and exhaling through left to finish a round. Again, while you're here in stillness, just imagine you're still making your way through the Nadi shodhana. Bringing an extra layer of awareness, an extra layer of focus to your Savasana. Now the Savasana is yours. The space is yours. You move through your breath, you move into stillness. You stay as long as you can. I want to thank you for your practice. I encourage you to stay here for as long as you need. Namaste.